All right, what's good, YouTube? Jay Jingles here, and I've been watching the new Wolfey Draft League. I know that Wolfey and Pokeaimmd did like a stream today, which was a lot of fun, and I definitely was partaking in that, watching it with you guys. But I just had to give my take on like this star-studded lineup. Like, there's Pokeaimmd, Wolfey, Cybertron. You know this is going to be a good one. So I'm going to analyze their picks, talk strategy, and figure out what I would have done differently. So I guess let's dive in and let's get into it. So I want to do team analysis and modes. I don't really have a criteria that I'm going to go with, but I'm just going to kind of talk about like what I would do when it comes to modes. Missing pieces that I think that, you know, teams might be able to pick up in free agency or trades or something along those lines. And how would I play the team? That'd be another thing. So as the recent winner of the YPL championship, I feel like I might be able to give a little bit of insight to some of these other players that are definitely much better at playing the game as me. But because they don't dive into draft too much, maybe I might be able to give a different, different look at the team. And who knows, and everybody watching, if you guys want to get into draft as well, like maybe just kind of seeing like what tools might be needed and which Pokemon you might see value in, and how to kind of lay your draft out. So let's dive into it. I'm also going to I do have a tier list here as well. So I'm going to tier these teams based on, I'm not going to go on the player. I'm going to go on just the team. Because obviously, like, you have like a lot of very, very, very well-known players in this. And then you have some other players that are capable and very competent in what they do. But I'm not going to compare two players, especially when you have the caliber of Wolfe with somebody else. So I'm just going to go based on the teams and how they're constructed and then go from there. And then we'll just throw them on the tier list and you might be a little surprised. And as you go, if you guys think of anything, comment down below of like where I'm just flat out incorrect, I might have just missed something, or something that I might not have said, I might have missed. So just interact with this and we'll just do this together. This should be a lot of fun, and we're going to follow this league because it seems to be a lot of fun. We haven't really had one like this in quite a while. So looking forward to seeing it, and let's dive in. So the first team, one of my favorite players on the planet, James Baek, super awesome person too. I know James spent a bit of time talking to me and my friends at a couple of different regionals multiple times. So definitely willing to chat with people, and very, very nice guy. But let's see how the team looks. We've got Annihilape, Ninetales, Alola, Kilowattrel, Crocodile, Cinderace, Blastoise, Hydrapple, Furret, Duosion, Revavroom. So he started with the Annihilape, so I know that the way it worked out is you had 100 points allotted to your team, and then you had a range between 20 all the way down to 1 point value for each Pokemon. And obviously, I think 100 points was very low, so you're going to see a lot of different Pokemon you're not used to seeing on a roster. So that's also what makes draft just so much fun. You're going to see things that you normally don't see. But let's kind of see exactly what James was thinking here. So you got the Annihilape, which is a great start. I actually just did a recent video on why draft Annihilape, and I could not say enough about this monkey. So I think he sees the value as well, and let's see if he got the pieces he needed. So you don't necessarily have to have a beat-up user. I will start with that, because there isn't one. I thought there was a chance that Crocodile got it, but the only beat-up user on the team is Annihilape itself. Unfortunately, that doesn't do you any good in that situation. But beat-up is not the only way to get your Rage Fist boost. One of the things that I thought would have been really neat for a team like this is if you could get your Ninetales Alola, which does outspeed your Annihilape, these two as a lead, this offers so many options, right? Because Annihilape, obviously, you got to watch out for the bulk up. Yes, it's very hard to take down. If you can get an Aurora Veil in front of this thing, I think that'd be fantastic. But the fact that it outspeeds it is very nice, because you can use an Icicle Spear, which is very weak, by the way. 67 attack, which is usually a negative nature, and 0 attack IVs. That's not going to do much. So, and even if you hit it like maybe 3 times, you don't necessarily have to run the loaded dice. I actually went for like side pin missiles and stuff like that, and rock blasts into my Annihilape when I had it. So as long as you get the hits off, it doesn't necessarily have to be beat up. So I like the speed tiers. I like the fact that one's a special Pokemon, one's a physical Pokemon. Both of those things are going to stick around on the field for a long time, especially if you get the Aurora Veil up. So I think side Icicle Spear could be very, very nice. You also have Encore, which allows Annihilate to start going for more bulk ups and things like that. Which is funny, when I had Annihilate, I didn't run a lot of bulk up, which is interesting because that's one of the more devastating sets there is. But it's just move pool is just fantastic. So Rage Fist and then 3 other moves, however you choose. But Alola Ninetales, very nice. Obviously, like having the Blizzard spam is very nice. And also defense against weather. That's the other thing. Just having a Ninetales just to kind of just disrupt their weather. Not even necessarily that you're going to use it. You might just run Freeze Dry, Aurora Veil, Encore Protect or something like that. You're not necessarily going for the Blizzards just to disrupt theirs. So I really like the Ninetales pick there, and I think it was picked right where it should be at 17 points. Then you started adding the Kilowattrel, the Crocodile. Obviously, as everybody knows, Disquake is a very popular strategy. I think when you're facing very good players, it's kind of easier to stop. So I'm not sure how it's going to work here. I don't think the team needs to lean on that, but just having it as a mode is really, really nice. And not to mention it gives you the Intimidate and then the Tailwind as well on the team, which I think are just nice boxes to check off. Cinderace, you got to get your Fire type. I think every team just needs one. I do think, which is really nice, is the Cinderace being a physical attacker. It's really hard to run Intimidate against an Annihilate team. So having the Cinderace there, I feel like you don't necessarily need to run the Clear Amulet on it. So that Cinderace looks pretty well protected, and Pyro Ball is just so strong. So Cinderace, I can see Cinderace being like kind of like the dark horse on this team, where it's doing a lot more pulling of weight than it should be. Like you've got coaching, you've got speed control options on it, you've got offense, other utility as well. I just think it could be a very, very nice pick. And not to mention, I don't see a lot of Focus Sash users on this team, maybe like 1 or 2 of them. But Cinderace can run Focus Sash, go Blaze, and now your Pyro Ball's hitting even harder with like a free choice band boost kind of thing. So, and it's so fast, it's just gonna outspeed you once it does go down to Sash. So that could be cool too. Blastoise, very, very nice utility pick on a team as well, with like Fake Out, Icy Wind, Water Spout, things like that. Like one of the things I saw in this team as well, we're going to get to the Furret in a second with the Follow Me, just having all these tools, like this team has so many nice tools on it. James definitely wanted to make sure he's got every option that he needs at his disposal every week. Just in case you're facing a certain team, because I think this league, everybody's just facing everybody once, and then the playoffs start. So you just got to kind of get what you need when it comes to tools. So for it with Follow Me, just allowing Blastoise to possibly do its Shell Smash setup. I know that's a pretty scary set as well if you're not ready for it. So if you're protecting in front of a Fake Out option in like a game 1 in a given week, and you just go for a Shell Smash, that could be pretty scary. So I think Blastoise, with the amount of bulk that it has, doesn't even really need the redirection, but it's just nice to have, so you can guarantee it go up. Unless you're faked out yourself, but that's a whole nother thing. Hydrapple, just I've had Hydrapple once before. It's just, as long as you can avoid the ice moves, I think Hydrapple's fantastic. Like just having like Super Sweet Syrup allows your Leaf Storms to kind of go off nicely in the Draco Meteors. And it just does a lot of damage. It's got the right stats in the right places. So this is going to be a nice Trick Room sweeper on this team, especially with Terra at your disposal. So speaking of the Trick Room setter with Duosion, an Eviolite Trick Room setter I wouldn't say is 100% ideal, especially when your stats defensively are so low. 65, 50, and 60 can work. I feel like it's probably enough, but you know, when it comes to a league that you need to make use of your lower value picks, like a Duosion at one point, I think you can't really go wrong. So, but this team doesn't necessarily need the Trick Room mode. It's just a nice thing to have. So I like the fact that this team, it's got so many different ways of being played. I can just see so many different leads. Like prepping for this team is going to be a little difficult. So if, for example, the Duosion lead with, say, the Crocodile or something like that, you're like, okay, well, what is he going to do here? Is he going to attack, or is he going to set Trick Room? Is he going to stop me from setting Trick Room? That's another thing with Imprison. So that could be another option as well. And then a very, very nice last pick with the Revavroom. I think getting a value Steel type is always really nice in a draft, because like usually Steel types are pretty highly valued, especially when it comes to points. Usually the good ones, like there's like a bunch of really good Steel types at the top, like 20, 18, 17, whatever, all the way down to like 15. And then there's a whole lot of nothing. And then there's a bunch of really bad ones. So the fact that this Revavroom was, I feel like it was tiered a little low. I think Poison Steel is a very underrated type combination. Like, yes, you have the quad weakness to the ground, and you have the weakness to the fire, but look how many resistances you have. You have 3 quad resists, and one of them being fairy. So Revavroom is a very nice switch in for the Annihilate, in a sense. So I think Revavroom is just like a nice pick, and then you have the shift gear stuff with the redirection on the Furret as well. So I think Revavroom fits on this team very well, and I don't think it fits on every team. So that is a very nice thing. And what do I have in my notes here? So we've got I mentioned the Ninetales Annihilate. Ninetales Blastoise with Blizzard spam, that's a thing. Yes, Blastoise is a little weaker, but like a Choice Specs Blastoise, with the amount of bulk that it has, could be really nice. So you could just go for Blizzard spam and just go mindless that week as another option. Cinderace with Annihilate, I think coaching is a very underrated move on Cinderace. I think it's the only non-fighting type to get coaching. I could be wrong, but I think it is the only one to get it. So the fact that, again, what do you do turn 1, game 1 against a Cinderace? You have to watch out for the crazy damage or coaching for the partner, right? So I can see coaching the Crocodile, maybe with like an AV set, and then the Cinderace just starts supporting and then attacking itself, potentially. So I think that's a nice mode too. I mentioned the Shell Smash. Now, it's not even just the Shell Smash, which is really nice for the Follow Me Furret. I wish it got beat up. I wish the Furret got beat up, but it doesn't. But I see Shell Smash, Trick Room, Nasty Plot, Shift Gear. I think all of those moves are very nice to have behind a Follow Me, and not even just a Rage Powder, which I think you can just get around it with the Safety Goggles or a Grass type. So I think Follow Me, just a cheap Follow Me user for it being 4 points, I think is just great. So very, very nice to grab that, Mr. James. And you have a Disquake mode as well, so just kind of mindless. So there's that team. But where would we rate this team? I think I'd probably put this on the higher end because I kind of like it. I wouldn't say it's like the best team, but I'd say it's really good. Like, I think there's a lot of like nice things, and we look at the stats too. Like, yes, this is a Reg H tournament, but look at the offense you have. Maybe on the special side, not so much, but you do have the Hydrapple, and you have so much physical offense. That might just be all you need, right? So maybe just roll with that. You might be finding that he needs a little bit more special offense, like Kilowattrel having competitive as well. Like, you really don't want to intimidate this team. Like, there are many reasons not to. So that Cinderace is looking pretty nice, and then the physical attackers are going to be hard to stop. So yeah, very, very nice team. But let's get on to the next one, Pokeaimmd team, which is, I didn't mention the team name. James Baek is the Jubilife Piplups. So, and then I even wrote them here, so I should be mentioning them. Pokeaimmd is LA Wakers. So Pokeaimmd, I thought, is one of the more interesting players in this draft because he's so creative and actually just top cut a regional, which is really hard to do being a singles player, and is really, really just kind of getting into the VGC side of it. It's just a very smart person. You could just tell if you're able to win on both sides and do really well in both, and it just translates. You're just being really smart. So I think he's just figuring it out, and it's so hard to day 2 a regional, so hard, and he did it on his first try. So that's hats off to you, my friend. That is very good. And let's look at the team that you've built here. First round, grabbing the Archaludon. I think that's a very nice pick as well because there's so many supporting pieces you could have grabbed. I don't know how I feel about the Poltergeist pick 2. I like the Poltergeist at 3 points. I think it's a really nice piece to have on a team with Hospitality, and you can run Eviolite, which I don't see enough. Yeah, like, you're not going to run Eviolite on Riolu, so I think Eviolite can just stay on Poltergeist, which having multiple Pokemon on your team fighting for the same item is not ideal. So I think that's really nice that he did that as well. But pick 2, come on. Like, you could have picked something else earlier, and then you could have waited a couple of picks. I guess you really, really wanted it. That's my grass type. I want it, and I'm going to get it. And I've been told by friends of mine that if it's that important to your team, get it early. If it's that important, just go get it. And that's what he did. So I guess good for you. And I think the team worked out really well. So what can I say, right? But for the most part, if there's something like that's no one's even really looking at, you could probably could have waited until like pick 4, if even that's early. But I don't think anyone's picking that thing any earlier than like 4. So yeah, he got it. He got what he wanted. Meowstic, one of my favorite Draft League Pokemon. I think Meowstic it's so disruptive with like Fake Out, Thunder Wave, both screens, Gravity. I think Gravity is kind of sneaky on this team with the Rhyperior as well. Like, you just ground everything, and then now Rhyperior can hit anything it wants. So I think that Meowstic's just a really, really nice pick. You've got different types of speed control on the team, but T-Wave, it's not just speed control, it's speed control, and now at one of every 4 moves you take or turns you take, you're not going. So if you don't have a dark type or ways of stopping, you know, like Quick Guard, and like with Quick Guard or like Psychic Terrain or something like that, if you don't have that, then someone's just going to T-Wave your whole team, and you're probably not going to go very often. So 1 and 4, but times your whole team, that's going to be a little annoying to deal with. Greninja, I see you with the Greninja. I see what you're doing there. Water Shuriken into the Arch, I think, is a very cool tech. I also think Greninja, Archaludon, kind of, they work well together because you got Icy Wind on the Greninja as well. You have Electric on the Archaludon with the Draco Meteor, and then you got Water moves, Dark moves, Knockoff, things like that on the Greninja. And it's just so fast. So I think Greninja is a very nice pick on the team. Again, not really fighting for, like, Focus Sash maybe on the Riolu. Yeah, like maybe the Pelipper, maybe the Zebstrika, but like, I think Greninja can find itself using a bunch of different items, so that could be kind of nice. Basculegion, you can definitely tell as the draft was going what he was going for. You know there's going to be some kind of rain setter like Pelipper or Politoed or something like that. But you knew it was coming later. But you already have Meowstic with the manual rain as well, just in case. So I guess that's nice to grab the Meowstic early, but you definitely didn't grab the offense early. You got the Arch, and then you just went your support, and then just, you know, utility options. But then you go and get the Basculegion. Now this team's starting to look real nice. I think Basculegion is fantastic. Adaptability, like if you can get T-Wave spam off and you don't even need the rain up, you could just start going for adaptability, last respects. I think that looks fantastic. Wave Crash being one of the strongest moves in the game from this in the rain, it hits so hard. Like this thing, like I'm trying to think, even resisted hits are destroyed by Wave Crash in the rain by this thing. So I think it's a nice pick on the team. And also Arch is weak to the fighting. Your Bass can switch on it really nicely. So it's just a nice member of the team as well. Riolu, I guess you have your coaching stuff. I think coaching's kind of nice too. Like you've got Vacuum Wave, things like that. Quick Guard, plus you actually have 2 +4 Quick Guard users on your team, which is kind of nice because with Prankster, it adds +1 to your already existing status moves. So Quick Guard's already +3, so it makes it +4. So it literally stops every single fake out in the game. Unlike, say, for example, if you have like a Hitmontop, it now comes down to speed stat. What goes first, the fake out or the Quick Guard? And I think we actually saw that from Pokeaimmd's team last time he played, which was an interesting interaction as well. Riolu is just a nice piece. I feel like it might be a little bit of an overlap, but depending on what else you already have in store for it, I think that it could be nice on this team. Rhyperior, I see the Lightning Rod on this, which is very nice. I thought that was a cool thing to kind of add with the offense, and now you have your Trick Room Sweeper as well. So it's just like a little bit of a deterrent to go Trick Room on you, because I think a lot of teams are going to want to do that. So you have your Imprison on the Meowstic, you have you got to think about this on the Rhyperior. So that's a nice pick as well, and it just does so much damage. The Rhyperior, Rock Slide spam, Earthquake spam, like I think that's just, it's just solid damage across the board from Rhyperior. Alomomola. Sure. I know that, I don't know, Wide Guard, you already get, like, you're getting Wide Guard with your next pick anyway. I don't get it. If the Pelipper wasn't there, or like if you wanted just like some water type with like Icy Wind and some other things, like I've looked at this thing before and I think it fits on some teams. I don't get this. I don't understand on this team. I don't know if it's going to get used. If it's an Aqua Jet into the Rhyperior, I don't get it because you've already got your Vacuum Wave on the Riolu. Even Bullet Punch can do it, so I don't get the Alomomola. I want to see it. I want to see it go off. That could be kind of cool, but moving on. You eventually got the Pelipper, which I think that's really funny. You grabbed the Poltergeist way too early, and the Pelipper, I think it was just really important to this team. So getting it this late, draft at your own risk, I guess, when this late, but you got it. I'm happy with it, and I think it fits great on this team for obvious reasons. Then you have your Zebstrika. The Zebstrika was a little surprising because I know you got the Motor Drive and the Lightning Rod and stuff like that, but you already got that in the Rhyperior. So, like, you have your Electric Immunity, you've already got your Lightning Rod to draw it in. I don't think your team was like super weak to electric just yet. I guess the Pelipper and the Basculegion, okay, fine. Greninja, I don't think you're bringing Basculegion, Greninja, Pelipper on the same team. I don't think so. I think it might be different weeks and they do different things. But the Zebstrike, I just don't get it because, like, yeah, it's only 2 points, I guess. So it might be more so there for the, like, the Thunders and the offensive electric rather than Lightning Rod. So, I don't know. But 2 points, what could you really say, right? Like, Poltergeist is worth more than 2 points. Alomomola is 2 points. So, I don't see the tier list, so I'm not really sure what else was available, but I think this team is incredibly strong. Like you've got the Rain is staying up on this team. That's the other thing. Facing this team, you're not going to stop Rain from going up. You need to live with what Rain is going to be like when you're playing, because you can set it with Prankster, so you can't even switch in like a Drought user. You can't even, like, you've got a fast Prankstermon that can actually set the weather for what you want, and you have a slow in Riolu. It's a little slower, so you can, you know, so if they want to go for theirs, yours is going to go second and keep it up. And you have your switch in with the Drizzle. So no matter what, Rain is staying up on this team. I don't think this team necessarily needs Rain all the time, but if it wants it, it's going up and it's going to stay up, and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. I think there was like one Sun team in the draft. So, but I think this, just embrace the Rain when you're facing a team like this, because it's going up and there's not a whole lot you can do about it. What else? I've got, yeah, the Water Shuriken, yeah, Lomola. Yeah, we really talked about everything already. So where would I rate this? I think this is a really strong team, so I would actually put this in A as well. Just because I think this is going to be a very solid team. Like, yes, it does what it does. Like, you've got your Archaludon, you've got your Rain stuff. It's just, it's so good at what it's going to do. Like, it got everything you need for success. Like, VGC teams are made with this. So, in draft, you have less tools to deal with it. So, good luck, everybody. I think there might be some better players that might be able to zero in on a couple of ways to stop it. But I do think that it's a pretty strong team, so it definitely belongs in the A tier. But I think there's one team that I've got waiting for that S tier pick. But back to the third team, Cybertron's team. Cybertron, Aaron Cybertron Zheng, one of my favorite casters. Very, very nice to watch. Super nice person. You can definitely tell when he's battling in his games. He's so polite to his opponents. Like, they make a mistake, it's never that was dumb. It's always that's interesting, or that's a really cool tech, and he's just always just happy to play the game. So I'm happy to kind of see Aaron in this league as well. And whenever you see Wolf, you see Aaron. So those guys are connected at the hip. So what about this team? So I thought this team was incredibly strong when it started. Just starting with the Goldango to start the draft. Very strong pick, and so many different things to support it. It's got one of the best abilities in the game, one of the best moves in the game, and Make It Rain. And then you see him start going for the Dozo. You're like, oh my goodness, you're gonna get Goldango and Dozo Giri, which he ended up getting. If you look at the end, you see the Tatsugiri that's picked at the very end. It's kind of an easy pick at the end, and if you don't get the Giri, you're like, whatever, like, it's still a Dozo. It's really good. So I think the order he picked it in is great as well. So the Dozo got picked. Then the Palma, now you're starting to see what the game plan's starting to be with this team, with the Revival Blessing. So you definitely know Giri's coming later. Nobody was surprised when it happened. One of the things I like about Palmod is the fact that it's got utility, but also having the, what's that move called? It's that electric move that just, it burns, it's like burnout, but it's electric. I forget what it's called. Double Shock. Double Shock, there we go. So Double Shock Palmot is really nice because it's just no drawback electric move, and it just hits so hard. So don't be sleeping on this thing's offense. 115 attack with that move. And if you Terra Electric, you can use it again and again and again. I also like the fact that it has Volt Absorb for the switch in on the Dozo, just in case you're facing, like, I don't know, the previous team with the Archaludon. So you can just switch in, take no damage, and that's just a nice pick. And then you have the fake out the next turn. So switch in, take no damage, and then you fake out. Really nice. The Weezing, I think, was just a nice pick on this team as well, because just shutting off abilities for Dozo and Palmot and Goldango to go off could be really nice. Followed by the slacking, and then it just starts, you start seeing the team play games just as you're seeing the team get drafted. You're like, I'm seeing this in battle, and it doesn't seem like fun for everybody else. I think slacking is just a nice pick, especially with the Weezing and Truant. I think there's a bunch of different ways you can use Truant with Weezing Galar, and I wouldn't do it against Wolfey because he studied so many different ways that you can do the neutralizing gas with. Nobody is more educated on that Pokemon than Wolf Glick, so I wouldn't do it against Wolfey, but everybody else, I think there's so many interactions that people just are unaware of with slacking, like switching it out on a Truant turn. It's not affected because it's just the timing of switching it out. And even switching it in, some people are expecting you to be loafing around, you're going to switch out or something. Weezing can switch in and it's just going to keep going. So you don't necessarily have to keep the Weezing on the field the whole time for slacking. You can switch it in and out, and slacking can just keep going with its legendary stats. So Yanma, I saw a couple Yanma teams going around a while ago. I think it's kind of sneaky with the Focus Sash, but I think a lot of things on the Steam want Focus Sash. So Yanma might be kind of fighting for that item. So Frisk is really nice, but I think it's just going to be the speed boost, right? Like maybe the Compound Eyes with like Hypnosis or something. I don't know, maybe. But I think it's probably just going to be Frisk and speed boost. Could be nice, but you don't even really need it though. So I think I would just be prepping for everything else. Like I don't know what Yanma is going to really do to you. Murkrow added to this team made me really scared to play. Like I feel like the Goldango is already good on its own. The fact that now you can start hazing away the debuffs off of the Make It raindrops, I think it's just fantastic. And then you get your Tailwind setter, which not like this team really needed it. Like I'm trying to think what you would even wanna, like obviously the Goldango, but what are you Tailwinding for? Like not slacking, not really, unless it's on the field early, then slacking gets on later. Doug Trio doesn't really need it, so maybe you can go for like a banded Doug Trio and you start Tailwinding, and now your Earthquakes are just going through and hitting so many things, so that could be an option as well. The Weezing Galar paired with the Toad Skrull is the combo everybody knows, but Toad Skrull just being 1 point, and it's fast enough. Like I feel like the speed, what is it? It is, where is it? I can't see it. 70? Oh, maybe it's not fast enough. But Eviolite, it's got the special defense for days at 100, so that could be nice. And just Spores. I think just having that thing is just nice for Spores. So if something's really susceptible to it, you can just grab it and go from there. I think it's unlikely to be used a lot. I think you're going to be leaning on like obviously the core mons that you can see on the screen. But I could just like if you just brought Dango, Dozo, Palmot, Weezing, Tatsugiri, and Slacking every single week, you're probably going to have a great season, make the playoffs, and possibly win it. So having these other options here, Doug Trio with Trapping could be nice as well. Not necessarily for Perish Trap, like there are other ways of running Trap without Perish. Just having somebody not be able to switch is very good. Like imagine like you have like Goldango and Doug Trio and they lead wrong. Well, you're taking a Make It Rain and there's nothing you can do about it. Doug Trio, one of the cool things about Doug Trio, actually, I wanted to mention is Doug Trio is the only Pokemon in the game to get both Sucker Punch and Stomping Tantrum. So if you just Sucker Punch and it fails, your Stomping Tantrum is going to be 150 powered ground stab move. And with that attack stat at 100, it's going to hurt. So I can see that maybe coming into play, knowing Sucker Punch and how Stomping Tantrum works and stuff like that. Could be really cool. But let me see, what notes did I have here for this team? I wish there was a way that he could utilize the Misty Surge. I don't see it. I think that, like, maybe if you're susceptible to burns or something, like, I don't really see it. Like, I'm not saying you have to, but just having, like, multiple rolls by the same Pokemon, like, maybe Goldango in a certain week can get the special defense boost. Maybe you're afraid of knockoffs, so like someone has a really good knockoff user, so you just run the Misty Seed, and now your knockoffs are only doing very little, right? Because you have no item. So that could be nice too. You can always Terra around it too. But I don't really see any other Misty Seed option. Maybe Dozo, I guess. Like you just start, and you can't even yawn with it, so I can't really see the Misty Surge used very often. And I guess that's basically it for Cybertron's team. So that's cool. Where would I put Cybertron on this list? Is it just going to be a bunch of A's? It's so good. It's just not utilizing the entire roster. I think I have to put it in A as well. Like it's just when you do tier lists, you don't want to have the same things in the same tier, but I think we're gonna kind of move things around as the tier list goes on, but so stay with me, everybody. Stay with me. We're not just gonna have a bunch of teams in A tier. It's not gonna end like that, so don't worry. But going back over here, The next team is Mount. So I saw Wolfey. I don't know this person. I wish I did, because like I bet there's a lot of people watching this right now. Like, you don't know this guy? You don't know this person? You crazy? But unfortunately, it's just not part of my YouTube feed, so I'm sorry, guys. But let's look at the team. I don't really know the player, but they're invited for a reason, so I'm sure that's going to be just fine. So, but Immunity Idols is the team name. Clearly, they were going for Trick Room inspiration, or inspired Trick Room. So, in Trick Room inspiration, they took. I think having the Ursaluna Blood Moon, the Torkoal, and the Oranguru. I don't know if you can get a better Trick Room core than that. Maybe the Indeedee if you could, but Oranguru obviously is there for the inner focus stuff as well. Sorry, not inner focus. Oh my goodness, the Instruct starts with an I, right? Same thing. Same thing. So obviously with the Trick Room there, so Trick Room is a turn 2 offensive mode, right? So do you offer enough of turn 1 offense, or can you guarantee Trick Room to go up is the question that I always have. If you're going to lean very heavy Trick Room, you need to have ways of stopping them stop you of setting Trick Room. I think Inner Focus with Oranguru is a great way to do it. So Fake Out is one way to stop Trick Room from going up. Just straight up offense. Oranguru is very bulky, so I think that's another good way of doing it. Redirection, he doesn't have, he's got the Sentret, I guess, but are you really going to lead Sentret Oranguru? I don't think so. You could always go Raichu Oranguru and Fake Out yourself, or Scraggy Oranguru, but again, what are you doing turn 2 is my question. I think you're just wasting your own Trick Room turns. Like you could do something like Eject Button Raichu, so you could Fake Out, set the Trick Room, and then if somebody hits your Raichu with like spread damage or something, you get a free switch into your sweeper. There are really creative ways of doing it, but I think it's going to be a little tough. If Trick Room's going up, this team is winning. Like, it's as simple as that. You're not stalling out this Trick Room with Torkoal, Ursaluna, Paparaja, Executor. Like, you're just not. Like, I'm sorry. It's too strong. But can you reliably get Trick Room up? I think that's yet... Like, we'll have to see if it can happen. Again, I don't know this player. They could be an absolute guru when it comes to, like, playing the game and setting Trick Room. I don't know. But I think there's some nice pieces on this team, too. I like Illumise as a Pokemon. I don't know if I like it on a team like this. Like, the only synergy I really see with it is, like, you can go Fast Bear with the Ursaluna. You set Tailwind and just start going for, like, massive damage with Ursaluna. So yeah, it makes sense. I would like to see something else that could really benefit from the Tailwind. Like, obviously, Blaziken, maybe. But, like, I don't really see any other ways of utilizing your Tailwind. Like, Raichu's just not offensive enough. Blaziken, okay, fine, yeah. Like, we can work with that. Executor, it's just too slow. Like I think, like, you'd have to go, like, max to even make it fast enough. Like, I think double speed Modest outspeeds Dragapult. So maybe it's fast enough. Because there's nothing else in this league that's any faster than that. So maybe it's fast enough. So maybe I take that back. I think Illumise is just really nice with, like, its options. Like, imagine setting Tailwind for the Ursaluna. Then you have Prankster Fake Tears to just start going off. I think it could be really nice. So there are some modes that this team can do. I don't think it's one of the better teams. Like, you've got tools, but they're not the best tools. I think Raichu is just... I think one of the things I thought when this was picked is, like, okay, why Raichu? Because, like, the whole idea you want Raichu is for its ability and its moveset. So my thing is, yes, the Raichu is 8 points, which is pretty low. If you're not going to be using the Lightning Rod, why don't you just go the Alolan variant? I bet it's cheaper. Has the same moves for the most part. I think there's a couple differences. So maybe that might have been the deciding factor of grabbing this over that. But I think in a league with this few points to work with, I think maybe going for that Alolan Raichu might have been better. Because you still keep the Fake Out, you still keep the electric coverage and the disruption, so that could be nice as well, like E-Web and things like that. So yeah, not that that's all that Raichu does. Like, Volt Tackle is very nice. So who knows? I'm just gonna pause for a second. So when people draft their own teams, they see the vision. Other people are looking into what they think the vision is. So I don't see some of the modes that this person drafted, but maybe they do. So I'm just gonna, like, withhold, like, yes, I'm judging these teams and analyzing them and rating them and stuff like that, but I'm leaving it open for, I want to see how it's played. I'm just at first glance, this is just what I see. So when it comes to this team, yes, they have the strongest Trick Room mode. You have the Eruption and the Instruct Oran Guru. You have some options for fast mode, but if Trick Room's stopped, it's going to be a little tough. The Raichu I mentioned, and then Torkoal Executor. I think Torkoal Executor could be nice, but you know what would be a really nice add to this team is Indeedee Male. If you can get Indeedee Male somehow on this team would be really good, because now you have to watch out for the fast Executor and the slow mode. Like, just like, picture it. So you got your Executor and you have your Indeedee on the field. You're about to set Trick Room, and you don't like the lead you see. You're like, they're probably going to stop my Trick Room, which, by the way, another way of stopping Fake Out. So by getting the Expanding Force, or the Psychic Terrain up. Yeah, stopping the Fake Out. So say you're like, oh, they're trying to stop my Trick Room. You just hard switch in the Torkoal, go for an Expanding Force with Executor. Goodbye, opposition. They are dead. Dead, dead, dead. Double dead. So I just think that'd be a nice move. I just don't know. I don't see the tier list, so I don't know how expensive it is. It might be very expensive. I know Indeedee Male is usually valued less in tier lists than the female variant. So maybe that might be a play. If you're listening to this, I would look at it, because I think that I'm trying to think, like, what's a fort? Like, you have your Orange, let me say, yeah, you kind of need those things. So play around with it. I don't know. Like, you figured it out. It's not my team. So that would be my recommendation, what I would do for this team. But where I would rate this team, I'd probably put this in C, just because it's so hard on the Trick Room side. I see it. It is kind of, you know what? It's kind of mean to put there. You know? You think? Here, I don't know. This might move up. It might move up depending on the other ones, but I'm not really sure. I'm going to put this in C just because I think there's a couple of slots that are, I'm not saying wasted, but you could get more out of them. And I feel like it's if you can stop the Trick Room mode from going up, it just kind of takes a few of the bullets out of their gun. So I think that, yeah, like I would have to put it in C for now. So let's run with that. And what everybody's been waiting for, Wolfey. Wolfey is the one that is hosting this tournament. And you can definitely tell all of Wolfey's friends are here and stuff like that, very close friends. So it's kind of nice to see just a bunch of friends playing Pokemon, which is nice. But when it comes to, like, obviously Wolfey's like the best player in the tournament, like, or like tied for first or whatever it is. Like, you can make an argument for a couple of the others. But this is very unlike Wolfey to draft this kind of team. Like, I think this is a very balanced squad. I think it does a bunch of different things. You have so many tools. Like, DC Parish is the team name, but it's just a balanced team with a bunch of nice options across the board. Like, tools, tools, and more tools. I see Fake Out, I see Intimidate, I see Trick Room, I see Tailwind, Frisk, Rage Powder, Sleep Powder, Ally Switch, Forest Curse. Like, there are so many things on this team, and there's enough offense across the board. Like, Arcanine, Glamora, Trevenant, Noivern can get some damage off too, like with the high base power moves. Espathra, it snowballs, Mamoswine, Primarina, Hariyama. This team is so good. Yeah, I would say it's very good. But you don't see a lot of obvious synergy. Like, you don't see your Torkoal Oranguru. You don't see your Archaludon Pelipper. You don't see, like, your Indeedee Size Spam. Like, Wolfey just went for a bunch of good things, and I can see how they work together. I think one of the reasons why he said he drafted Arcanine is just how many different things it can do. And it's not, like, it's bulkier, it's a little bit faster than the Hisuian version. But you can run this Arcanine with a support Will-O-Wisp Snarl option. You can run it with a banded Terra Normal E-Speed set. Flare Blitz is going to do a lot of damage no matter what EV spread you put on it. It's just going to do a lot of damage. And Howl is another option you could run on it. There's so many options with Arcanine. When I had it in a draft league, it was brought every week, and I brought a different set every single time. Even Flashfire. Flashfire can come into play 1 week. Beat Up with Justified? I don't think so. I think it's probably one of the weaker modes. Like, I know in Dynamax, Beat Up Arcanine was just a very strong, combo. But I haven't really even seen it once in Gen 9, so could you do it? Sure. You might catch guys off guard, especially if you get a +4 and then you start extreme speeding. That could be very good. but I don't even know what gets beat up on this team. Like, I could look it up really quick, but I'm not gonna, because it's a good mode, but I feel like Arcanine should just do so many different things to make everything else better, including the Primarina. So, just because, like, I think Intimidate next to the Primarina is just fantastic, and you have the fire with the water as well. It's just like 2/3 of the trio that you usually like to get. Fire, water, grass with the Trevenant. Trevenant that early is a little interesting, but if you look at Trevenant only being 3 points, that is a steal. Absolute steal. The fact that this thing is your Trick Room setter, which is a ghost type, which I think being immune to Fake Out just with your typing is just really nice. So I think having a ghost type Trick Room setter is very good. And checking off your grass type on your team that you want to get for your ground resist and so on and so forth, your water resist, is just very nice to have. And Frisk on this team, I see 1, 2, 3 Frisk users, probably the most underrated ability in draft. Learning your opponent's abilities right off the bat before turn 1, you get to learn basically what sets they have. Once you see the item, you might know the set. You see a Citrus Berry, it might be a setup set. You see a Choice Band, you could fake it out. You see a Covert Cloak, don't fake it out. And so on and so forth. So you learn so much information just before turn 1 with Frisk. Wolfey's going to get so much information on this. I actually just realized I see the Noivern here. Aaron Zheng actually had Noivern on the last time. I think it was WBE was the last time they squared off, and Wolfey ended up winning that one. But Noivern was on Aaron's team, and now you see Wolfey with it, so that's going to be cool to see. Espathra, I'm kind of intrigued of how he's going to use it. I think Lumina Crash is really nice. I don't see a Gravity user, not like you need one, but I think it's nice to have when you have the Espathra, because the Sandy Shocks combo, not like you could have gotten Sandy Shocks in a Reg H format, but Espathra is just a nice Pokemon across the board. It gets a bunch of utilities. Psychic types be Psychic types, you know? It does a bunch of different things, so... Venonat is one of my favorite low-tier picks in draft, being 2 points in this league. It's what is it? Sleep Powder with Compound Eyes makes it like a 97% accurate Sleep Powder. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It's like a poor man's Amoonguss. I love it. And the fact that you can run Eviolite, make this thing even bulkier. Just don't get faked out and don't get taunted and you'll be fine. So lead Venonat next to something that's super offensive. Fantastic. And if they don't, you put it to sleep. Beautiful. I love it. The Mamoswine, I think one of the things I want to mention is Primarina Mamoswine. These two things, if you just put them out there, you can't stop it. Like, other than obviously KOing them before they KO because the speed tiers aren't exactly great. But with Primarina, with its fairy coverage and the high special attack, and Mamoswine with the ground coverage, everything that resists fairy is weak to ground. Amazing. And actually, ice and ground itself, nothing resists both. Like, there's really no combination. Like, there might be some abilities involved, but ice ground hits like everything. So Mamoswine is a fantastic pick, especially with the Tailwind support. I'm not saying you have to Earthquake, but like just getting this thing behind a Tailwind, like just look out. So it's funny because like I wasn't even going into this saying that Wolfey is going to draft the best team because he's Wolfey and he can do no wrong. But looking at this team, I love teams like this. You just grabbed a bunch of tools, put them on a team, and you see a lot of like covering things that you might be susceptible to. This thing is going to be able to hit however he wants on a weekly basis. So this team is well equipped to deal with pretty much anything that's going to be thrown out there. So I can see Wolfey doing very, very well in this tournament, not just because he's Wolfey, but because he's drafted a very solid team to put him in the right spot to do so. I mentioned everything else. Fast and slow modes are really nice too. The Hariyama at the end of the draft I thought that was just like probably the best way to end it, is because this team doesn't exactly have the best Trick Room sweepers on it. And then you add Hariyama. I love it. Like I think I mentioned in a previous video that having a Trick Room sweeper that can help set up the Trick Room with its Fake Out is very nice. Like Fake Out with your Flame Orb, Trick Room goes up with the Trevenant, and then Hariyama just starts going off with its Guts boosted Flame Orb damage. So I like that a lot, and Primarina is another good sweeper as well. So fast mode, slow mode, any mode, this team is well equipped to do so. So where would I put this thing on the tier list? I'd probably do I put it in A again? I don't want to put it in A because everything's in A. Do I put Pokeaimmd's team down? Yeah, it's kind of, like, it's not one-dimensional, but like it's good one-dimensional, but like these teams are just well balanced. So let's bump that one down just to make it look a little bit better. Sorry, Pokeaimmd, but you have a good team too. I think all these teams are really good too, to be completely honest. I'm getting a little thirsty. No, I'm talking too much. So Nekkra. Shoutcasting Sylveons, the team name. So I'm just going to start off by saying I think this is the best team in the draft. So I'm actually just going to go up here and I'm going to put it in the S tier. And I'm going to explain why. So Garchomp is one of the better draft Pokemon I've seen. I'd say that because it's typing and it's offense and it's having Terra at its disposal. This thing is very hard to take down. Very, very hard. You want to intimidate it, it holds the clear amulet, great. You want to burn it, it's going to go Terra Fire. Only if it had the right support on the team. Well, let's get into the support. You've got T-Tar. T-Tar is a very nice pick next to Garchomp because, yes, they're two physical attackers, only one can hold a clear amulet, but you set the Sand, and now Sandveil just makes it even harder to take out. So I remember this thing was actually meta at one point, just having, and she got the Houndstone as well. So Houndstone with the Sand Rush, the T-Tar setting the Sand, and the Sandveil. If you don't have the weather control on your team, this team's going to be hard to take down. All three of those things are super bulky, and they're able to hit really hard. So in Intimidate, you can only intimidate one of them. So, well, sorry, you can't intimidate one of those three. Who's it going to be? Because obviously one of them's going to hold the clear amulet if you have like a really nice Intimidate setter. I also think that T-Tar is well protected with the Clefable, because T-Tar being so susceptible to close combat and there's no spread fighting move, I think you just go follow me. T-Tar can set Dragon Dance and it could just start rock sliding and it's just going to be a mess. I also think that Magic Guard is kind of sneaky as well because it's not going to take Sand Chip. So your team can't really run Focus Sash against a team like this because you're going to take Chip and they're not. So that's another thing. Well, you with the rest of the team, yes, you will. But I think if you lean into the Sand on a given week, you're not going to take the Chip. Like was it 1/8 or 1/16? I think it's 1/8, isn't it? I should know this. Oh my goodness. I think it's 1/8. I feel bad now. Anyway, so you're going to take chip damage from the Sand every single turn, and Nekkra's team is not going to, for the most part. So I don't like the fact that Fletchinder is going to have to deal with the Sand, but I feel like Fletchinder's a little bit of like a suicide lead. You're going to set Tailwind or just whatever you might be, and it'll just go down anyway. So maybe Covert Cloak on Fletchinder might make more sense than Focus Sash. I think T-Tar is probably going to come most weeks, so I don't think you're going to run Focus Sash pretty much on anything, which I don't really see it. Like, I used to run Focus Sash on Scyther, which, by the way, surprise, surprise, she picked Scyther, eh? A husband or boyfriend, I forget what it is, Stefan Mott. Yeah, loves this thing. So, very cool Pokemon, by the way. I think Scyther being only 3 points is absolute robbery. Like, grabbing this thing for 3 points, this thing, Technician, Dual Wing Beat is so strong. A Tailwind setter, able to hold the Eviolite item. This thing is just really, really good in draft. I had it once before and it did exactly what I needed it to do. It was fantastic. And at 3 points, like what were some other 3-pointers, for example, already? 3-pointer, Pokeaimmd. Riolu's a 4-pointer. You got Poltergeist is a 3-pointer. You've got Furret's a 4-pointer. You know, and now you have a Scyther that's capable of doing support. It's capable of doing offense, and it's just a nice switch in. Like T-Tar again, a switch in. Switch quad resist the fighting. So that T-Tar is so well protected on this team. Very, very nice draft. Not to mention the Gyarados as well. Switching in, you get the Intimidate. You switch in on the T-Tar, like the fighting, the ground, whatever you want. I didn't really like, as the draft was going on, that she grabbed 3 flying types in a row, but I feel like grabbing the rest of the draft kind of made me feel better about it and definitely finished strong in this draft. So, yeah, best team in the draft, Sandcore, Alchemy. Alchemy I thought was an interesting pick at the end. I didn't think it was really needed, but it is only 5 points. Like, Alchemy, I think for 5 points you could probably just throw it onto a team. I don't really know what the tiers look like, I keep saying, but because they didn't make that public. I wish they did, but they didn't, but it's all good. It's probably a doc floating around there somewhere. If you have it, just send it. It's just a view-only doc, so it doesn't hurt. But yeah, the Alchemy with the Decorate, I think you could decorate pretty much anything on this team, but I also feel like it's probably not being brought over Clefable most weeks, but it's there. So if there's something else there you want, I don't see anything missing from this team. I just don't. Maybe a special attacker, but I feel like you have, like, yes, Alchemy's a special attacker. I hear you yelling at the camera right now. I hear you, but it doesn't get Moonblast. It only gets D-Gleam. It doesn't really get great coverage. I think it gets like Energy Ball or something, but like it doesn't get a whole lot else. So maybe a special attacker for 5 points, but again, beggars can't be choosers with the value. So it's not bad. The Houndstone I think is fantastic because Ally Switch also kind of gets around the fighting weakness as well. So you got to watch out for that. Hitmontop being one of the better, I think Hitmontop's one of the better Intimidate users in draft as well. Having Fake Out, Wide Guard, and Intimidate as well. And Technician, I think Triple Axle Technician could be really nice as well. So in Bullet Punch, Mach Punch, things like that. So Hitmontop's a very, very underrated pick right now. Rotom Mo, yes, you have the Garchomp and the Rotom. I think in Draft League, it's just an absolute staple having Garchomp and one of the Rotoms. So grabbing the Garchomp first and just planning to get a Rotom at some point, it's almost like you don't care which one it is, but having the Grass type is nice. So you have a nice water switch in, and it's not bad. So Rotom's just, any Rotom's a good Rotom, I like to say. Maybe not the Ghost one. That one's got less stats, but yeah. So I think that's pretty much everything. So yeah, I put this one in the top tier, and I think that was just an easy pick, easy slot to put that one in. So nice job, Nekkra. I think if you have a front office, they did a really good job as well. But very nice. I can't wait to see this in action. You've got all the tools you need. Shady. We got Shadypenguinn here. It's nice to see you playing VGC, which is nice. I think you started not too long ago, and you're doing pretty well for yourself. So it's nice to see you here as well. I can't wait to see your matches. Also went hard Trick Room. And I don't have anything against Trick Room. It's just, I feel like only Trick Room or all Trick Room is a mistake. Just because now, if they can stop it, then you're going to have a hard time. So, and the fact that Ursaluna has turn 1 offense as well, but usually Protect Trick Room's the way to go. Like, maybe Follow Me Trick Room, but like, what's stopping someone from just going for Imprison? Like, what are you going to do? Unless you Imprison, they're Imprisoned, so that could be kind of cool. Indeedee Female, just run Imprison, Follow Me, Trick Room, and things like that. And you just go for Imprison there, Imprison turn 1, and then turn 2, you can set Trick Room all you want, maybe. Drifloon can do it, I guess. So that could be another thing you could do, but yeah, I just again, the Trick Room mode is solid. I think you have all the right tools. You've got your Ursaluna, the Braviary Hisui I think is really nice. Like Iron Ball Expanding Force is fantastic. The Sheer Force is really nice. Like that signature move, I forget what it's called. Esper Wing, I think it is. You get like a speed boost on your attack. So that thing could just start snowballing, and it's got enough stats to just kind of start getting going. Like a Life Orb could be really nice. Maybe not with the Sheer Force, and then your move doesn't raise your speed. So maybe not do that. But Braviary Hisui I've always been intrigued by, so that could be nice as well. What do I have here for the notes on this one? Unburdened Drifblim. Yeah, I ran Unburdened Drifblim one season, and I liked it. I think I really liked it. And yeah, maybe I didn't run it with like more so the terrain stuff. I think it was Weakness Policy that was the best one I found. But I don't really see Sucker Punch. Like, I think Houndoom might get it. I could be wrong. Most Dark types do. Scrafty doesn't. Imagine if Scrafty got Sucker Punch, that'd be crazy. But then you have your terrain. So, but Side Sucker Punch could work, because with the thing about your Psy Spam or your Psychic terrain, you can't use priority across the field. You can use it on the side, and it works great. So you might be able to do something like that. Or you could do like a Terra and then get your whatever it might be as well. Like, I'm trying to look at priority. I don't see any. Yeah, I see Fake Out. That's pretty much it. I don't see any priority. So sorry, guy. I tried to help you there. But again, if you can get Trick Room up, the game's over. Ursaluna is not going to lose in Trick Room. I think there is a universe where you can set Tailwind and then start Earthquaking with your Ursaluna. Earthworm is kind of nice, I think, on this team as well. You don't necessarily have like the most ground weakness on the team, so. But Iron Defense Body Press is always good, so you could always set up. Or you could Shed Tail. I think Shed Tail is kind of cute on the Earthworm as well. Stantler is really nice as well. I don't know if I like the Fungus and the Stantler on the same team, because they both want to hold the Eviolite. But I guess you could run one week and one the other week, but I do like both of them. It's just... But actually, I do want to mention one Pokemon that I really don't like on the team. I don't like the Houndoom at all. I liked it until he picked the Armor. I think that the Houndoom, it had Flash Fire, and it was just really nice. You got your Fire type for like a little less. 3 points is pretty good value. Then you get the Armarouge, and I'm like, okay, well, yes, they don't do the same thing, but it's definitely an overlap in what you're gonna do. But I do know that some people pick things and go, you know what, I'm gonna grab this and I'll just drop it after the draft. So these rosters are not exactly like the rosters that they're gonna go into week 1 with. So we might see some changes before week 1, which I can definitely see. So that would be the one change I would make. Not like Houndoom's a bad Pokemon, but next with an Armarouge on the same team, there's definitely some overlap there. And I think you could definitely grab something. Again, in the 3-point tier, I don't know what's there, but we've seen some pretty good ones so far. So there might be some more in there. You just got to dig. You just got to dig. You might be able to find a roll. Even like a Fletchling or something like that gives you Prankster Tailwind. It might add some to this. Maybe grabbing like a Flip Turn Pokemon for your Armarouge. It allows you to possibly do that combo where you get the weak armor stuff off. That could be nice as well. Like if you can get like even like a cheap fast flip turn user. I'm sure there's a bunch of like completely useless water types that are really fast that you could flip turn with. Like this, and you can even Choice Scarf it. There you go. Just Choice Scarf it, and you can go get a Swanna for all I care. Like Swanna could do it. You know, and get, you know, maybe an Icy Wind, a Tailwind, or Flip Turn or something. I don't know. But I do think that there's some options there. I think the Armarouge is well set up here. Like Indeedee, Armarouge, Ursaluna. And then, unfortunately, the Fake Out doesn't really help you. The Foongus is nice, too. It's like a pseudo-Amoonguss, obviously. And you have the Intimidate on the team. So, honestly, you have double Intimidate, actually, on this team. So, again, I'm going to put this one, when it comes to the tiering, I'm going to put this one right next to the... Oh, wrong one. I'm going to put it right next to the other Trick Room team. Again, not because it's Trick Room, it's because it's all they got. And I want to see them be able to play it differently. I don't think it's bulky enough that you could just start going second. I think I had a P2 team with an Annihilate, and people were going Tailwind and Trick Room. I'm like, I don't even care. I'm just going to start, I think at Klefki too, I was setting screens and just playing in whatever room you chose. I don't see that on these teams. I don't see enough bulk on these teams. Like you see average of 80 defense and 76 special defense. And I also hate to say it, they're not even the slowest Pokemon. Like 50 speed. Like if someone has something slightly slower than your Ursaluna, like they're going first, unfortunately. So Follow Me's nice, the Indeedee's nice. So we'll have to see how this team's played. I think again, I'm not really sure how the team's going to be played, but I don't really see the vision just yet. But hopefully I do as the season starts. So Uzi, another player that I'm a little unfamiliar with. They were talking about this player, and I'm actually going to link all of their YouTube channels in the description as well, just like they do. And just so everybody can follow along with the season, I'm going to, and I'll probably cover some games. I might pick 1 or 2 a week that I'll cover and maybe do an analysis of the games and the teams they brought, what I would have brought maybe. But I'm not 100% sure yet. I got to see how being a little busy with work lately is a little stressful sometimes, so we'll have to see how that goes. But getting into this team, Dragapult is always a great way to start off a draft. The Thunderclap Titans is cool logo, by the way. Whoever did these logos, fantastic. Like I'll probably have all the logos on the screen at some point. But yeah, Dragapult, very, very nice first pick. It does pretty much anything you want. You can run it physical, you can run it special, you can run it in support. With screens, it gets Sucker Punch. It gets your Dragon Darts, one of the most cool moves in the game, not because of its animation, but what it does and how it interacts. Dragon Darts has like a whole list of, just like Stomping Tantrum, it has a whole list of interactions and how the move works based on what it is. So I think Dragapult and Dragon Darts and all the things it does is really, really nice. Whimsicott, I think that was another really good second pick. I think Whimsicott is just really nice on most teams. I just saw this actually. I see the Gallade there. I know Beat Up Justified is a little overrated in my books, but you got the Gallade there. You could do it. You could just go for... And not to mention, this thing's already got Sharpness, so it doesn't even necessarily need the Justified. It's already got a free choice band. Oh, its attack is a little low. 125 isn't low. I think it's just a free choice band with all of the slicing moves. I think that's how Sharpness works. All of the cutting moves or whatever. It gets everything, like Aqua Cutter, it gets Sacred Sword, it gets Leaf Blade, like... It's beautiful. So Gallade is very, very solid pick, and it gets everything. Like its move pool is bananas. It gets everything. So Whimsicott, very nice. I also see you Typhlosion Hisui. We've seen this combination in regional tournaments for most of Reg H. Like I think having the option to you run the Covert Cloak on the Whimsicott, You run the choice specs on the Typhlosion Hisui. You can't fake either of them out. You have the choice based on what they lead. You can go for the Tailwind or you can go for the Sunny Day. Take your pick, right? So if you're not prepared for that lead going into this week, you very well could lose turn 1 if you're not ready for it. It could be a wide guard you might be able to do. It could be Trick Room, something that might not go down to, like, maybe even like a Focus Sash Trick Room setter might just do the job. So there's that. The Glysaur, I think that was a little early as well. 4 points. I know getting the value picks out of the way is what a few players did, but I think again that one could have been weighted as well. It's only weak to, like, what is it? Where is it? It's only weak to 2 things, so ice and water. So I do think that's really nice. You can put it in like a situation where it's like it can't lose either when it comes to the poison heal and toxic orb. Like, I think it heals an 1/8 every turn, or is it a quarter? I think it's an 1/8. But yeah, that is a nice win condition. I've lost to it. I actually think that was the last team I lost to at Toronto Regionals last year. They had a Glysaur. I'm like, yeah, that's enough Pokemon for the day. And I just dropped at that point. Araquanid, very nice piece. I don't know how you're getting Trick Room up for it. Like, you've got the Whimsicott, you've got the Gallade, and you got the Malamar. And they're fine. They're fine Trick Room setters. Like, they're okay, but they're not your prime Trick Room setters. I think Whimsicott's a sneaky one because you got to watch out for Tailwind and Trick Room on the same set. I like it. I think it's one of the better Trick Room setters because it's deceptive. I guess they could taunt it, fake it out, but if you run the Covert Cloak or Mental Herb, you're good to go pick your poison. So that could be a very nice way of dealing it and playing this team as well. But I think the stronger mode is the fast mode on this team, but it has the option of the slow mode. So maybe Araquanid's more there for more of a deterrent than anything, and Water Bubble making the fire moves. I think the scariest Trick Room sweepers in the league right now are both Ursalunas and the Torkoal. Other than that, I don't think there's a lot of great Trick Room sweepers. So Araquanid kind of deals with both of them. Maybe lesser the Ursaluna, like the base Ursaluna, but Araquanid just hits them really hard back. So I'm not too worried. And if you go Terra Ghost, you're resistant to the, what's it called? The facade on that thing as well. So I think you could deal with that. So Araquanid's more so there for a go ahead try it kind of mode. So I kind of like that. Typhlosion Hisui does what it does. Frisk, again, can't say enough about Frisk. So very nice ability on this team. The Gallade, we've already talked about. The Berserker is probably very underrated across draft. Having Tough Claws and the move pool that it has, like Play Rough, Iron Head, Close Combat, anything that makes contact is going to get a 30% boost on this thing, and it's already got 110? Yeah, 110 attack. So you slap an Assault Vest on this thing, and you put Tough Claws on it, and put 4 attacking moves. It even gets U-turn for pivoting. So, and Fake Out. So I think Berserker's a solid pick, especially for like a cheap Steel type. I really like it. So, Skiploom, I don't get it. I'll just straight up say it. I don't get it. I don't get the Skiploom. Yeah, Rage Powder, okay. Cheapest Rage Powder you can find at 1 point. Yeah, fine. If that's why you got it, mission accomplished. Just 1 point. Like, I always say, like, 1-pointers, they're never going to win you a draft league, but they might come in clutch and get you, like, a 1 or 2 weeks. It might do well. Malamar. Come on, that's for the views. Come on, everybody loves the Malamar, the Mega Malamar that they revealed in the trailer. So, I like Malamar. It's some fun things you can do. Any Psychic type does a bunch of different stuff. So, I like Malamar as a Pokemon, but that's there for a reason. It's definitely there for a reason. I'm trying to think of, like, Dragon Ball gets Draco Meteor. You could do Topsy-Turvy, then it's +2 or something. That could be kind of neat. Where else could you do it? I don't really see. Maybe Close Combat, and then you get the boosts after. Maybe, I don't know, but you're a U-turn away from Obliteration, so I would just watch out with that Malamar. But also keep in mind, contrary with Superpower, that's where this thing can kind of come into play. But I don't know, we'll see. I really like this team. I think this team's really solid. It has a bunch of different, it has a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just got a bunch of stuff, but a bunch of good stuff. I didn't even mention the Toxtricity. I'm so sorry, buddy. The Musician on the team. I've used this thing once before, and I didn't see Sylveon picked. And unfortunately, against an Ursaluna, like your Punk Rock defense doesn't really come into play because you're about to get deleted by an Earth Power. So I use this thing against like Snarl Spam, and I use it against what's it called? They were going for Hyper Voice stuff. I think it was a Primarina or something. So it was just a nice defensive, you know, ability, because it doesn't just boost your moves, it reduces them. That coming into it as well. So that could be nice as well. I think this thing's defensive typing is just fantastic. Like, it's only got what, 2 weaknesses? Just looking, yeah, 2 weaknesses. Look at all the resists. And I always say not every resist is created equally. You have electric, grass, fighting, poison, flying is a nice one, bug, whatever. But steel and fairy, those are really nice resists. So I think if you can build this thing like defensively with your EV spread, Toxtricity could win you a week. And it has won me a week before as well. So I really like this thing. So where would I put Uzi's team? I'd probably put it with the Wakers as well, because they're both really good teams. Again, none of these are bad teams. It's just when they're side by side, it's just you can definitely see, like, having the Draft League experience. I've been playing for like 5-6 years now, like, and you see things and you start seeing what teams have success. I don't think I've ever seen like a hard Trick Room team do really well. So that's the only reason why I've seen Trick Room teams do very well when you give someone something to think about. So in Draft League, in closed team sheet, closed everything. I don't know if this is Open Terra. It might be. I think that's usually the common one nowadays, is Open Terra or Terra Captains. I don't think they're doing Terra Captains. They might, but we'll have to wait and see. I didn't really see the rules just yet. But yeah, you keep them guessing. Like Pokemon like Alade, like on that team, like I think you don't know what it's gonna do. Like, and you could really throw it off. They're like, oh, it's just gonna attack me, and you just start going for support. Like that could be something, coaching or whatever it might be, or set Trick Room. Like you know, they could be in a bit of trouble if they guess wrong, right? So that's why Frisk is so valuable, which I mentioned twice or 3 times in this video. So, but basically that's it. So where was I wrong? Everybody, if you're watching and if you think I'm wrong, yell at me. Be angry. Yell at me. And if you're one of the players watching this, no harm, no foul. Prove me wrong. I always say prove me wrong. I do these review videos for leagues I'm in all the time, and there's always someone that's really upset. This is all in good fun. This is all just in good fun. So have fun with it. Comment down below which was your favorite team. Comment down below what I missed synergy-wise. If I rated something incredibly high or incredibly low, tell me. And let's just keep the conversation going. Let's have some fun this season, and I will see you guys as the season goes on.